Hey guys, it's Eagle, and welcome back again to another episode of Nomifactory. In the last episode, we started and completed the final preparations before we make our first electrical component in the energy converter. All of this is thanks to the two primitive blast furnaces you see here that we made, and I'm going to do my best to keep these going, but they do take a lot of fuel to keep them going. I also made some expansions to the base over here for the time being. Nothing really interesting going on over here yet, but I'm thinking we're going to do a little bit of work over here. Got some interesting plans and some things I want to get done today that I think will fit perfectly in here until we're ready to expand our base even further into the LV age. Well, some time has passed now, and all of our steel and the blast furnaces are done. You can see I added a few things, starting off with a couple chests here. This is going to be my refined ingots and all my ores. For at least for now, I wanted to kind of clear out these crates up here so they're not as cluttered with stuff that we may need. Also, back here in this back room, I finally set up more of these crafting stations. Now, I think this is a decent configuration. Let me know if there's a better way to do this, but I feel like I tested it and put something in each one of these, opened up this middle, and I was able to access all four of these crates. So that should be a pretty good amount of crafting storage. We should really be able to utilize the power of these crafting stations into the future. You can see I kind of started preparing some things in here that we're going to need to go ahead and craft the LV energy converter. Now, before we do that, what we need to do is actually start generating some power. However, if you remember last episode, I only made one of the dynamos, and I'm thinking I may need more. That was kind of what was the consensus, that I was going to need a few of them. But we're going to set this up, and I have a plan on how we're going to do this in a way that's going to set us up at least for a while. I've been doing some research and watching some videos of people playing this pack, and it seems like a lot of people will make a sugarcane farm. And here's my test world I've been playing around with, and this was my first attempt at making a sugarcane farm to use as fuel for these dynamos. Now, this was just a first attempt, and as you can tell, it's not moving all that quick. And I saw a lot of videos of people using something called SNAD, which I think is just a meme that it's just a compressed sand block that apparently grows a lot better. So this is kind of what I came up with, and as you can see, it's a lot faster. So this is what we're going to be trying to implement today. Going along with that, down here, another thing I want to add is this timer block from Dark Utilities. It shouldn't be too bad to make, but all it does is, depending on the ticks that you put in here, you can read about it. It'll give you a pulse. So I had it set to half a second right now. That's or 1 or 2 a second. So I think that's as fast as it can go. I tried going lower, but I don't think it can. But this should be sufficient to keep one of those dynamos running at all times. You do have some loss, but it goes so quick. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. So yeah, it's pretty quick. If I need to do more, it's not too bad to craft. We have all the things that we need to craft observers and pistons and the SNAD, except, well, we're going to need to gather some, but that's relatively easy, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so that should be a way for us to power this up, and I was doing some testing with the energy converter into this battery buffer and into the small lithium battery, so you can kind of get a glimpse here into what the plan's going to be and how we're going to start generating some power and hopefully do it automatically. Here we are, back in the main world, and before we can start making that sugarcane setup, we're going to have to craft the energy converter. So let's go ahead and start that. Off in the side room over here, I put a lot of the materials, or at least some of the materials that we're going to need to begin crafting the LV energy converter. So let's go ahead and check what we're going to need. The first things that I wanted to make were these tin cables, and to do that, we need a 4x tin wire, which is just 4x. So I think we're going to need 4, 8, 12, 16 1x tin cables. So let's start with that. All right, now we can craft the 1X cables. Very nice, got 16 of those. Now we just gotta make these into the 4X. Very good, and then all we gotta do after that, I believe, is connect them with the rubber sheets. Very good. So that's one part of that done. With the 4X tin cables completed. Let's do the red alloy wire. I don't know if I have enough red alloy yet to make that, so let's go check this one over here. Red alloy. We have these. I don't know if you can craft these into anything. It would appear as though you can't. Let's double check. Nope, you cannot turn them into thicker cable. So let's see. We are going to need more red alloy dust. And to do that, we're going to need copper dust. So let's get some of that. 16 should be fine. There we go, 16 red alloy. Do I have any storage? There you go, perfect. While that's going, let's start working on the LV machine hole. Now this is something that I'm gonna get, a lot of, so I'm gonna need to make a lot of these at some point. So all I'm seeing is that we need a lot more iron and a lot more steel. So this is where we're really getting into the Greg Tech aspect of this. Now we're gonna make 2 more tin cables, I see. Do I have any tin in here? No, I did it all over there, which is fine. 2 1X insulated tin cables on the way. Make the plates. The wires. And then now we want to insulate those wires. It just takes 1 rubber sheet. Yep. Very good. Now we've got 2 of them. Just go ahead and lock all these tin recipes. That is good. Now we need 2 wrought iron plates and a steel plate. So we're gonna need 8 total. 9 total. 9 total steel plates. Oh goodness. Okay, so let's go grab some steel. And make our 9 steel plates. Okay, iron plate. I know we're gonna need 2 wrought iron. Very good. Now we just gotta craft the steel plates. Very nice. Reset it. Good. 9 of those bad boys. Very good. Now for the casing. Put these in here. Very good. And the hull. We need the wrought iron plates. Boom, boom. And I don't have the cables. They're on the other one. Very good. Now I'm really going to enjoy whenever we have a very centralized crafting and storage, so I'm not having to worry about where things are. That's going to be nice. So let's just go ahead and just deal with it for the time being. And now we put these in. LV machine hull crafted. Energy converter. I think all we have left to do is to make that red alloy cable. So we have the machine casing, and this should be done over here. Very good. Let's make ourselves some red alloy cables. And we're going to need 4 of those. And then we're going to have to cut these into the 1X wires, just like we did for the tin. Surround these to make the bigger one. And we're going to bring this with us because we don't have any of the rubber sheets over here. We can turn it into the 4X insulated on this end. Very good. Boom. Okay, so now we'll put the LV machine hole in. Let's go get our one circuit that we made. I believe it's in this chest right here somewhere. Yep, our one electronic circuit. This for sure I'm going to be making a lot more of. So don't worry about the fact that we just have one right now. I'm going to spend some time off camera and I'm going to craft a lot of them. I'll show you me actually crafting them, but as far as gathering the materials and everything else, I won't make you guys sit through that. But for right now, just trying to get this on the way just so you can see that this is where we are. Put that in there. LV energy converter, move items, and craft. Got that LG energy converter crafted. Had a bit of a run-in with the green guy outside, so we'll deal with that whenever we get around to it. But now that we have the energy converter done, we can start planning out the build for the sugarcane farm that's going to happen back here. I don't know how big of one I'm going to be able to make just yet, but I think we can go ahead and start thinking of the things we're going to need to get all that done. So let's go ahead and check that out. I have a couple things bookmarked here. We're going to need observers. Not too bad. Nether quartz is seemingly going to be the hardest thing to get out of this, but it's really not. A lot of the buildings around the area are made out of quartz, so I can just craft that down to that. No big deal. And next will be the piston. That'll require a little bit of iron, but I can also use bronze, or I can use many other ingots, so I'm not really that worried about it. But I think iron's gonna be the one I'm gonna use. But it should be fine. That's not too bad to craft. Also, snad. Main important thing to make this thing work, and that's gonna take a lot of sand. And how we're going to do that, we're going to take my diamond excavator and we're going to go to town in the desert that we were in a couple episodes before. And the last thing, I don't know if I talked about this when I was showing you guys the design in the creative test world, but I want to use this timer, which is also not too bad to craft, just a few pieces of gold, otherwise not too bad. The reason I want to do this is because the snad reacts to a redstone tick to it. So that's what allows it to grow the sugarcane much faster. So the quicker I can do that, theoretically, the faster it'll grow. So that's what this is for, and I'll kind of show me setting that up again once I get it in the world. But for now, I think the thing we're going to go do first is going to go gather all that sand and get the snad ready. And I think while we're out there, we may gather some quartz as well. So I'll kind of let you in when I get to find some cool things. But until then, I'll see you when I get all the stuff ready for the farm. Look at that. Found some quartz already. Oh, nice. This will be helpful. Back here at the base, and now we're going to see how much snad we can actually craft with the sand that we got. I have this weird feeling that it's not going to be as much as I'm thinking it will be. So let's try to take out all this sand that we have. Let's see, got a decent amount for sure. I got to be at least able to craft one or two. So let's find out. Put in our sand. Singular compressed. Let's make another of these. Boom. Oh, we'll have more than enough. We could make a whole lot. 14 double compressed. Let's start with 8. We need 2 per 1 snad. So 10 would be 5. 12 would be 6, and that would be 7. Let's try to make 8. I think I might have enough. We'll just see. I did have enough. I actually had enough to make 18 of them. So that means I can make 9 snad. The plan is to just use, I'm just going to start with 4. I think anything more than that's going to go crazy, but this will at least give us a bit more if we need it. So let's just go ahead and put 5 of these in here for later. Right next to the sand, so it feels at home. I also gathered the other parts we're going to need to craft the observers and the pistons. The timer is going to be a little bit different of a craft, so we're gonna do that one last. But let's go ahead and craft our pistons first. Let's check that. There we go. We can make 8, but again, we're just going to craft 4 for now, so that's good. And then 4 observers. We just need to make this. Very easy, only 1 block needed. We've got our 4 observers. Now we've got redstone to do it. We've got our snad, everything we need to make this. Now all we need is some buckets of water. I believe, if I remember correctly, I have a couple buckets laying around, and I do. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some water. Don't worry about the creeper hole. I will fix it at some point, but that is not right now. Got important things to handle. Got the water done. The last thing I think I potentially will need to make to get this going is going to be a hopper, just because I'm going to need a way to collect all the sugarcane, and I think that might be the easiest way right now. I don't know that for sure, but we'll see. Okay, here we are. I'm going to craft our hopper, have everything we need ready to go for that. Our one hopper, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and craft our timer as well. There we go. Timer. Perfect. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started on making our sugarcane farm. We're going to go ahead and put that, I'm thinking right here is going to be a fine area. I want to give it a little bit more height. This whole room needs a little bit more height. Let's extend this for right now. I don't know exactly how much space I'm going to need. I'm just kind of guessing here, which is fine. But I want to put it in the wall. I think that would look cool. So we're going to dig this out. Let's say 1 sugarcane, 2 sugarcane, 3 sugarcane, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So power is going to come right through that way. Perfect. Okay, so this part right here is going to be a glass wall in line with this. So then this will be the layer the water's on. This will be the layer the sand's on. Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna poke out the other side. Oh, this is bad. I have to go back to the drawing board. Let's just hope that it's just underneath. I guess I could bring it out one too. So glass, water, sand, and we need 2 more blocks back. Oh, okay, good. I just got... Oh yeah, we're fine. We are fine. No big deal. Alright, so let's start off by taking our snad, placing that down. So, glass, water, snad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Put this down. Okay. We're going to need to also just block this off for the time being. Water's coming this way. Okay. Now, this is the fun part. It's going to do redstone here. But we'll just put it all the way for now. And I'll put the timer down. It's not turned on yet, so that's fine. Now, alright, here's what we need. The 4... There's just 1 block here first, so let's go ahead and put cobble. Then we're going to put our pistons facing us. Good. And then now, put a layer here. Observers facing this way. And close it off with the redstone. Now we should be good to place this. Change the tick rate on this to 10 like I had. And there we go. We've got a sugarcane farm. Very good. Let's go ahead and get our dynamo. All right. Let's turn this off for a second. I was not ready. I just want to double check and see if it would work. Oh, it's still going. Oh gosh. Okay, let's do big number. Just big number right now. Okay. Well, you can kind of see how efficient it is. I already got half a stack. So this actually might be enough to do quite a bit. What is going on outside that there's just much lightning? Holy. Is it raining that much? I don't even want to know. I'm busy. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We want to go down here. We're going to have the water block underneath. The dynamo facing that direction. The hopper going into dynamo. Now it's getting water. Let's see if this will give it RF. And it sure does. Look at that. We've got our first power in an automatic sugarcane farm. Let's go ahead and light this up in here so we don't get any mob spawns. Seems alright right now. Okay. But not too shabby. We can expand this to a pretty large degree where we can get, you know, a stack every few seconds. So now from here we can automatically put the, I think I'm gonna need a wrench for this. Let me go grab a wrench. A wrench is how you configure the sides. It is lightning something crazy. Okay, so we got our wrench. Let's just go to sleep and see if we can get rid of that. And we're clear. That's good. All right. Now we want to put the converter here, and it is filling up. And actually, I'm okay with it coming out the top. I'm all right with that. So basically what the plan is going to be, I think, is if we want to expand this, I will just put, I'll probably just put the dynamos in these spots. So it'll kind of have its own sugarcane piece. So I'll probably readjust all this and have the whole bottom underside of this being hoppers filled with steam dynamos into energy converters. Now, here's the next part. We've got our energy converters. Let's check our quest book. I know we have some quests we got to complete here. LV Power 1, claim that. Now over here is where we're going to create some storage for it. We're going to need a low voltage 4x battery buffer. What this is going to allow us to do is to craft up some batteries and put them inside of there. However, I'm not really too worried about that at the current time. I'll do that in between episodes, so we'll have that set up for the next episode. Fairly simple to make, very similar. Just some tin and some steel, not too much. What we have on the materials is just crafting it. What I want to do is read these two quests here, because I think this is going to open up the next level of the quest book for us. Unlike RF power, which is safe to transport in any conduit, EU power requires caution. Okay. Yep, so I knew this, matching the voltage and amperage of your cables to the power source. Good. Yeah, so this is the part I was talking about a couple episodes ago. It was a little bit daunting for me in terms of like the power. But I think I'm already starting to understand a little bit more about how it works. You just got to match the input output of your cable to whatever machine you're plugging it into. So it shouldn't be too bad. So let's go ahead and just collect this. And now we're in our last quest of this chapter. Basically what this is saying, it is talking about the difference between the conduits and the cables, and saying that we should probably start using the conductive iron cables, which was the plan because it is a superconductor, like it's saying. Very nice. So it's suggesting that the wire mill should be one of the first things that we make, which I'm all here for. So let's go ahead and collect that quest. Get our Nomi quarter, and that, I believe, should open up the next quest line. Oh, I was right. Okay, so the first thing, it opened up the first one, and it is correct. The first thing it's going to ask me to make is the wire mill. All right, now that the power's all taken care of, I changed my mind. I think the last thing I want to get done today before I close this episode out is make that battery buffer. I'm not sure if we'll be able to make any batteries, but I want to get the battery buffer done and get it hooked up to the system so that we're all ready and prepared to start connecting machines to it so that we can get into the wire mill and really get into the meat of things in the next episode. So let's go ahead and do that now. I know we're going to need a bunch of 4x tin cables. or tin wires. So we got to make some tin plates first. Let's make 8 of those. This will work. I think we're going to need double the amount that I just made. Okay. Now we can make 4 of those. So we need the battery buffer. Let's go check that back in the quest book. Low voltage battery buffer. Very simply, got our 4 tin cables. We need a chest and then the LV machine hole. So this is going to take 2 more tin cables. 2 more tin cables. I can see why the wire mill is going to be so important to make, because it is expensive crafting them like this. Now we just got to make the insulated ones. Very good. LV machine hole. Wrought iron plates. Steel. So we need 2 wrought iron plates and 9 LV machine casings again. I think we crafted these over here this time. Hopefully we still have enough. So we need 2 wrought iron plates. Very good. And then we need a good amount of steel plates. I don't have the recipe in here for, which I probably should, but whatever. Neither here nor there. Let's craft our 9 steel plates. Very good. Now we can craft. We need wrought iron plates, steel plates. Looks like we have all the stuff we need over in this other one. All right. Still need. I have the wrench on me. And steel plates. Okay, good. And I think we're good there. Now all we need to do, craft ourselves a chest. And we should have everything we need for the low voltage 4X battery buffer. Very good. Now the last thing that I want to do before I connect this up to the system is make some superconductor wires. And the way we're going to do that first is making the conductive iron, which I think we have a recipe for, which just takes iron dust and redstone, which shouldn't be too bad, but we got to get the iron dust made first. So let's make, let's say 16 will be fine for now. Make 16 conductive iron dust. Let's go ahead and smelt that down. Started making some more iron here. All right, let's get some fuel. That'll work for now. Let's put 8 here. 8 in here. Okay. And we'll let that smelt up and we'll make ourselves some conductive iron cables. Let's grab our wrench so we can configure the sides of this battery buffer. I believe that, I don't know what side it needs to be accepted from. I think this is the output side. I'm not 100% sure, so I think so. I can just put a cable into here, into the back of this, and then I can fill this up and then turn this into the output. I don't know if you can just put them onto each other. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and try that real quick and see. Although I really don't have a way of telling yet until I get a battery made, so no big deal. We'll just assume we need the cables for right now. And then this line right here is going to be kind of where we have all the start of our machines as we collect power from the back side of this. Let's go ahead and go back and get our conductive iron. Should be basically done by now. Good. And let's make, don't have the rubber with us, so let's make it into plates and make our cables over here. Now, I need to figure out, I think that this is a 4 amp energy converter, so we need a 4x cable. So we need to make a 4x conductive iron cable, which is going to require us to make four single cables. Is that right? Yep, 4 single cables. Then we want to make it into a 4x cable. Very good. Oh, let's clear that recipe. And then we can cover it in the rubber sheet like we have been. Oh, do they not have that? That's so, you can't cover these. It would appear as though you can't cover those. All right, well, no big deal. We will just have to be a little bit careful. Let's collect that, and then I think we use the wrench to configure this. Is it the wrench or the wire cutter that we need? Okay, it's the wire cutter. Good to know, but there we go. We have that going into the back of this, with the output side being here. We should be good to go. I have no idea if it's gonna actually convert anything yet, but I think we're at a good place to stop here. So thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like button. Definitely go ahead and hit subscribe if you want to see me continue to progress through this pack a little bit. We're starting to move along a little bit, starting to learn some things, but until next time, I appreciate it. Peace.